Hi, this is Wes Unruh for publicindividual.com, and today I'm going to, this is a new video. I'm going to be talking about essentially what I started talking about here in a recognition economy about post-commerce marketing. Well, what I actually want to show you is how I went about creating the intricacies that make up page 23 of The Art of Memetics. Now, if you're just looking at this page, it looks more or less like the other pages. Let's look at a previous page. However, there are a few differences that you can spot just right off the bat. When I was doing The Art of Memetics and putting it online, I was really focused on showing multiple levels of literacy. And that means that when we're dealing with search engines and search terms, that people and what they're looking for is a bit more important than how they spell it. So if you're looking at page 23 of The Art of Memetics here, the first thing you'll probably notice is that the title tag says Fnord. This is my way of indicating to people who are in on the joke that there might be something that you're not seeing. So here's the footnote, but if you mouse over the period, you'll see that there's actually a different link there than there is at the footnote. Well, actually that's true for all of the periods on this space. This post that it links to was also about imbuing spaces with variable levels of meaning. So the link itself that it's leading to is itself essentially a text that can be read in several ways and is about different ways of reading a space. Now, it's kind of important that you realize I deliberately used misspellings in the titles here. Imbued is misspelled. I used a word that has never been used on the internet before, which was Technosigilic. Near as I could figure, it does not show up in search terms for anything when I first posted this back in November. And I use a term that is very industry specific. All of this in the title tag. It all shows up right there. So I'm deliberately creating... So I created this article with the mind that I would come back to it and see what kind of effect it had on the network once it was placed up. So the article itself is already being worked at several layers. Let's go back to page 23 and let's actually look at the source code of the page, which I have here. Now you'll notice this page itself, dialogue is primarily stored as linguistic memory, but memory can also be stored non-linguistically. Iconic or icon-based memory is a memory built of landmarks, graphics, logos, and the associated meanings one assigns to those reference points. This is not a half-bad description of both this article over here and what I was trying to accomplish with the actual process. So let's see what kind of results that I got. That was in November, so it's been about 6 weeks. Let's see what I can find if I do a search here. Let's search first for the word that I misspelled, imbued. It gives me the dictionary definitions. It gives me a Wiktionary definition, and this was not the definition I had in mind. I was actually trying to misspell imbued for this result, which I ended up on the top space here for the word itself. And then a few of the links to me, my own link for my own blog is one, and here's another one at Zimbio. This gives me a sort of a basic idea of what's being said out there with the misspelling. Now let's look at the word that I put up that until then I don't believe had been online. Now it gives me the, did you mean Technologic? Of course no. But let's look at the results for Technosigilic. If you scroll down, you'll see that it's Foolish People's Post with my keyword actually in the title and in the URL as well. Then it's pretty much just people linking to it, and this will give me sort of a structure of who links to it that has the highest page rank in Google's eyes for that specific term. And it's sort of shuffled out by a couple of other factors as well. But in this way, we see here's my blog, which has a pretty good page rank, it seems, right underneath the actual original article, which is not surprising. And then after that, it sort of breaks down. There's Infictive, Techno-Occult. Now, Infictive has a ton of pages on its back end, so it's internally giving itself a lot of rank. And it's actually talking about something other than the article. So that's probably part of the reason why it comes right after my blog. And then it just keeps going down. Now, I've actually searched this out to the end, and it ranks out at 39 inbound link, or 39 different pages for this word Technosigilic. Of those, it looks like 36 were specifically linked to that article. So in a 6-week period, I give it a pretty good insight into who's all paying attention to foolish people's RSS feeds and stories and posts, and who's picking it up in secondary layers. Now, let's see what we find out about the word hypersaturation in this. And if you're looking closely, you'll notice Wikipedia. It's got a really good page rank. It actually has the term. As well as some industry sites that are obviously probably highly ranked in their niche, in their own field. But here's my blog. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sites down is my blog, which is a link to the article. I'm going to go down a little bit farther, and 2 sites down further from that is actually the Foolish People article itself. Now this tells me that my blog, Mutants, is actually got a slightly better page rank than the Foolish People's blog, because otherwise those results would be reversed, because this was actually this is actually the originating article here. And then after that we see Techno-Occult, which also has an extremely good page rank for a blog of its kind. And all of these is because we've been around for so long. This is not going to work if you just set up a blog and do it first off. This is more of a sounding to see what kind of network is out there for myself and for the rest of the mastermind group that's working on this. So let's go back here to the back space of page 23 again. Now, one of the other things that we find out as we're studying is that it's the very first link on the page to a space which defines what Google thinks it is. Now, I was doing this more as a lark, as to see how densely packed, how hypersaturated with intent, if you will, I could make page 23. But in reality, Google's only going to spider this first one, and the repeated links on the page back to it could actually do a little bit of harm, possibly. This is not ideal for search engine optimization. This is certainly, though, ideal as an example of how densely layered text can be. You're not just looking at what's on the page. If you're really paying attention, you're looking at what's on the tab, you're looking at what is on the pages that's being linked to, and you're looking at what's in the comments. That's how you really read an HTML page. Now, there's a lot more going on. If you just follow through and read this article, you'll realize that I'm trying to tie together a lot of different things, and then actually taking it up to this layer of meta, where I am making a video talking about the different ways that I have densified information. And that's probably a whole nother video in itself, especially when we start talking about why I use Zen Werewolf Presents, imbued spaces, technosigilic approaches for hypersaturation of intent, why I specifically chose that type of model for its headline. That's got a lot to do with marketing and layers, and also being noticed, or a high degree of noticeability. So, until next time, that's my next video, or that was my, what is this, video 8, I guess, of the official public individual videos, and for the public individual, of course, I am Wes Unruh. Thank you. Bye.